Hey, how's it going? It's 3 o'clock, July 24th. It's a Thursday. Just hanging out outside, you know, soaking in the sun, trying to enjoy the weather. Uh, I seen uh, I seen my friend Ed, the plumber, today. He hooked me up with a couple of cigarettes and a few dollars. This way I can get something to drink. Uh, I'm having trouble, moving around. It's kind of depressing. I have this big sore on the back of my ankle that I went to the hospital for a few weeks ago. And I was hoping they would keep me, until it healed. But I went in. They took a look at it, and they said as long as you're not running a fever, as long as it's not infected, there's no reason really for us to keep you. You know. So I have that on the back of my heel, and it's a pain in the butt. Like it's hard to walk places and stuff. I don't want to open it back up. I'm trying to let it scab over and stuff. I took a ride to Utica Avenue with my mom and dad. My dad had to go food shopping, and so I went with them to Utica Avenue and then to the grocery store, and I sat outside the car and smoked a cigarette and had a juice. Uh, I had some hot dogs today. I had a nice breakfast. I had a pretty nice breakfast. I had a big bottle of water for breakfast, a banana, and two hard-boiled eggs for breakfast, and then I took my vitamins. And then for lunch, I had just a couple of hot dogs. I'm kind of hungry. I'm pretty hungry right now. I had two hot dogs for lunch. No bun, no buns, no bread. Just a couple of hot dogs. And man, I grabbed them out of the water when they were done boiling, and they were hot. I was juggling the hot dog in my hand like it was a hot dog. But I talked to my lawyer today, and I got some pretty good news. So I'm hoping I see her honest again. You know, September 1st is her birthday, and if this thing gets settled, hopefully it's settled by September 1st. Maybe I could take her out for her birthday, and but I don't know. It's kind of I'd love to say that it is even up in the air, but the way it looks like she's never gonna see me again. Uh, so that's really disappointing, and I'm kind of depressed about that. Uh, I really like to find like a regular girl, just a regular girl. She doesn't have to be like an athlete. You know, I'd love her to be Latino or Mexican. There was this girl. I started following this girl the other day on my Facebook, and I think she's Mexican, and she's got beautiful brown eyes, beautiful dark hair. She's got a couple of tattoos, nothing crazy, and she says like precioso, precious. She says pinche verde, and like she talks like she has like this encouraging talk that she does over her Facebook, and it made me cry a little bit the other day. Like I wish I had a Latin girl, to say encouraging words to me. I wish I had a Latin girl to say encouraging words, like sit on my lap, tell me encouraging words in Spanish. I'm not gonna know half of what you're saying, but I'll know half of what you're saying, and it'll make me feel so good. It'll make me feel so good. I just want to feel good. I don't want to do drugs. I'm not interested in alcohol. I'm not really interested. I got some weed the other day, but I'm not really interested in it. You know, I want a companion. I want a companion that'll talk nice to me, that'll respect me, that I could talk to. A girl that I could cuddle with and watch Netflix with, and a girl that I could call up at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, "Baby, I miss you. You're so dear to me." And I wish I could have had that with Uranus. I wish that's something I could have had with Uranus. I watched some of Diane's show today. I haven't seen a show in a while, and she looked really good. She was wearing a green dress, and talking about politics and economics and stuff, and she looked amazing. Her hair's getting really long, and I love looking into her beautiful brown eyes and watching her do her job. You know, uh, Hulk Hogan died. Terry Hogan died. I was kind of disappointed to hear that. He was 71 years old. He was a real role model, especially when I was younger. When I was younger, when Hulk first came out, I watched every Sunday. I'd go over to my grandma's and I'd watch wrestling, and Hulk Hogan was there and stuff. And Hulkster was a real cool guy, man. He was a real cool guy. I had the Hulk Hogan workout set. I had the blue weights. They came with blue weights, hand grips, and I have somewhere in the house. I don't know where it is. I have the headband. I think I still have my Hulkamania headband. And what you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you, brother? I love the Hulk, man. He was the coolest guy, bro. I can't believe he passed. You know. So I'm gonna go in, let this video process, and smoke a cigarette. And I talked to my therapist today, but it was kind of hard because she called on my mom's phone. I was sleeping, and all of a sudden I get woken up. My mom's coming down the stairs into the basement, and she's like, "Oh, your therapist is on the phone." And then she's doing laundry, and I could tell she's trying to sneak into the conversation, and I had to tell her. I was like, "Look, this is a private conversation between me and my therapist, and I'd appreciate it if you kept out of it." And that insulted her a little bit, and all day she's had a fucking pissy attitude towards me because of what I said about the phone call, and so I'm telling them, I told them the news that my lawyer told me, and I go, "Guys, the first thing I do, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna get my bike." And they're like, "No, Richie Carl," they're like, "You're not having a bike here. You wait till you move till you get a bike. You can't have a bike here." And this is what they do to me. This is how they encourage me. They don't encourage me at all. Anytime I break through, anytime I start getting good at something, they knock me down. It happens with everything. It happened when I was going to the gym. I was lifting weights every day. I was getting big, and my dad was like, "Oh, you're on steroids. You have roid rage," over the stupidest shit, and my dad would criticize me, and then my mom would go, "Oh, you're getting too big. I don't like how big you're getting," and they knocked me for going to the gym, and when I was skateboarding, they didn't have much to say when I was skateboarding. They liked that I wasn't around the house. They don't want me around the house. When I was skateboarding, it was pretty cool because I was out all the time, and they didn't have to see me. And that's what they want. They don't want to see me. They don't want to see me. And everything just seems like I asked him for, I asked my dad for $20 last night. I said, "Dad, could I get $20 and maybe I could go to the bar and maybe I can meet someone?" $20 is like fucking nothing, but I could buy a drink, and if I do see a pretty girl, $20 is enough that I could buy someone a drink, and just engage in some kind of conversation, and just feel like a real person for a moment, Let me feel like I'm someone for a moment, and they have some shit against that. It seems like everything I do, they have something against me, They won't let me take the car out. They give me a problem about taking the car out. I have everything here, but at the same time I have nothing because they don't give me any respect. They give me no fucking respect. And it sucks. And you know what? I think I'd still have Uranus. I think I'd still have Uranus if it wasn't for my parents. And I guess I'm upset about that. You know. So I guess that's it. I'm gonna let this video process, and if Uranus isn't on board, we'll find another girl. We'll find another girl who's on board, and I don't know. I don't want to go through an escort. I really don't want to go through an escort. I want to find a regular girl, you know. But it looks like I'm out of luck. I hope everyone has a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.